Hey, welcome to Anatomy and Physiology 2. We're going to be studying a lot of the systems of the body that are very important to medicine during this course. We're going to start and try to um, coordinate our activities to understand how all of the systems in the body fit together, because even though we separate those and categorize them system by system, they are actually uh, all together as one, and they interact. So we want to make that clear. We'll start off the semester learning about the components of blood. Blood is comprised of formed elements, or the cells, red blood cells and white blood cells, right above here in the centrifuge tube. About 55% of all the blood is plasma, and that plasma leaks out of capillaries and becomes all of the other fluids in the body, and they circulate and come back into the blood, interestingly enough. Then we'll also learn about blood typing, and we'll use the nobelprize.org site where they have a great blood typing exercise that's a lot of fun, and it's sort of cute, but it's an excellent one to teach you about blood types, so we'll talk about that. And we'll go on to talk about the heart and circulation. We'll also be studying circulation and the heart. We will be studying circulation and the heart, and we will want you to be able to trace blood through the heart from the inferior and superior vena cavas, where they come into the right atrium, go then through the tricuspid valve into the right ventricle, out of the right ventricle and into the pulmonary arteries, which leave the heart with deoxygenated blood going to get oxygen in the lungs, then back over here to the pulmonary veins, which empty into the left atrium, down into the left ventricle, through the bicuspid valve, and then through the semilunar valve, out the aorta, to the head, to the coronary artery, to the heart, and then descending aorta going down here underneath the stomach, finally, and to the kidneys and to the rest of the body, and then circulating back. It's very interesting, and we'll try to help you understand circulation and how all of the fluids in the body are connected to the main circulatory system, and is a function of leaking plasma out of the capillaries, which is the normal circulatory system. And if we didn't leak that plasma out, we couldn't clean our body of all the toxic wastes that are produced by metabolism. Okay, we're also going to be talking about nutrition. Tonight I'm playing with a bowl of potatoes. I'm going to show you with another camera. I have some fried potatoes. This is not what I should be eating. I'm type 2 diabetic, and I pay particular attention to my eating and my nutrition. Every once in a while I'll eat a few potatoes that I fry, and I add some things to them. Otherwise, I try to watch what I eat, and I try to make sure I have nutritious food. And we'll be talking about certain aspects of nutrition with relation to diabetes and other health problems as we go along in this course. About the middle of the course is when we'll get to that part. Well, this is some of my fried potatoes. Bad food for a diabetic. Starch is all sugar. I've tried to improve this some. When I fried it, I used olive oil so that I wasn't using animal fat or butter. And I've got dried cranberries in here and sliced apples, and I've covered it with honey before I fried it, just to try to improve it some. You know, out of all the people who have ever lived in the history of the world, 90% who have eaten Irish potatoes are dead. Oh well, I hope you get the joke. There are more people alive today than have ever been alive at one time in the history of the earth who eat rice. Ha ha. Think about it. Okay, also we're going to talk about metabolism and how you get carbon dioxide
out of your blood, out of your body, and oxygen into your cells. This is a homemade carbonated beverage. I didn't want to use the full bottle because I've blown it up a few times. It might go over the top and make a mess. But this carbonation that you're seeing is made by yeast in the presence of sugar, and this is aerobic, so no alcohol is formed. Actually, I use a little bit of pop, a little bit of grape juice actually, and some pomegranate to flavor this, and this is homemade pop, and it costs pennies, and it's pretty good. It takes a little bit to learn and experiment with how to make it taste good. So I was lucky to find these bottles in Wisconsin that have this type of lid. You probably couldn't hear that pop, but when I opened this bottle a while ago tonight, it almost exploded. I got the carbonation just right. Why am I showing you this? Because this is exactly how carbonic acid, or CO2, gets out of your body. It dissolves in the fluids around your cells as carbonic acid, HCO3, and when it gets to your lungs, it turns into bubbles and goes right out, just like opening a can of pop. So there you have it. Okay, thanks.
Then of course we're going to look at the lungs and the respiratory system. We'll get help from Paul Anderson on that, and we'll get help from Tammy Moore on the urinary system, the lymphatic system, and how the lymphatic system acts as a part of our immune system and our defense against infectious agents, not only virus and bacteria, but other infectious agents as well, like Cryptosporidium, which is a protozoan, and actually killed over 1,200 people in Milwaukee during the 1970s, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Finally, I'll share with you some Ebola infection and prevention videos that in courses that I'm going to be taking. So there are a lot of resources that we'll be sharing with you to try to help make connections between the physiology that you need to learn and the protection that the medical community has been able to figure out for us in medicine. But some of this stuff you may be interested in doing down the road as a medical assistant, or you may decide you want to really go into nursing. Finally, we'll get into some interesting aspects of human reproduction. We'll get some help from TEDx and TED Talks. We'll get some help from some other people too. There'll be a talk about from Diane Kelly about new muscle structures that she's helped to explain in the penis, and that's sort of a cute video that you might enjoy. I think you will. We'll also look at some other TED Talks about how genetics is being used in medicine. We'll use the NPR radio. There's a great presentation there about dissecting the mitochondria and the nucleus out of cells in an embryo to be able to surgically change the mitochondria so that we can eliminate mitochondrial disease in a family. This is fascinating stuff. And all of this relates to the topics we're going to be studying in the A&P 2 course. We'll also talk to a veterinarian, a cardiologist who honors veterinarians, and we'll use her talk to get into the human hormones in the reproductive cycle. Oxytocin in particular, which is the bonding hormone, is also involved in uterine contractions and milk letdown during breastfeeding. And we'll look at the hormones involved in the reproductive system, and we'll get some help with some videos there. And then we'll look at some other videos regarding human reproduction, and try to give you some supplementary material on that. And I think you'll enjoy the course. I hope you will. It's my job to help you to enjoy the course and to make connections with real-life experiences and relevance. And so the discussion board will be important to help us to do that. And so my next video that I'd like you to watch will be in the discussion section, and it'll teach you how you can use the discussion and how you can sign up for certain threads to follow those so that you get alerts on your email every time somebody responds to a thread that you make or the thread that you're interested in. Okay, welcome to the course, and let's have a good term. I think we can. Thanks. My name is Mark Johnson, and I approve this message.